So when it comes to doing YouTube, a lot of times people will share with you that doing collaborations is a great idea. It's a great way to build your audience, to potentially build upon another community, another way to get the word out there about your channel, right? Now, today I want to come to you guys and share some of my reasons why I personally don't like doing collabs. I have did a few of them in the past before. Within having this channel, I have had a couple people reach out to me to do collabs, and I always say no. I always say no just because of past experiences. And I'm not going to say that my experiences were bad, but I will say that when you do collabs, you do have to have specific goals. I feel like a lot of times people would just do collabs just to do them. Don't get me wrong, doing collabs can be great for building upon bonds if you already have the bond. However, I have noticed that I have had some people reach out to me in the past. They would send an email and would be like, hey, let's work together. And I have never seen them before. They would tell me like,
oh, I'm such a great fan. I'm a big, watcher of your channel.
Or something along those lines. And I would just be sitting there like, I have never seen you before. I have never seen a comment from you before. I have never even seen your name before. Keep in mind, sometimes people's subscribe button is turned off where I can't really see if they're really subscribed to me and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, if you've never commented on any of my content before, to me, I don't want to say this where it sounds entitled, but it's to me, I'm like, do you really enjoy my channel that much if you have never commented on it? And I know a lot of people don't naturally comment on content. However, if you're reaching out to somebody for a collab, I would assume that you have commented on other people's channels before. So I would assume that you would potentially comment on mine if you actually wanted to, I guess, get connected to me, if that makes sense. Because one thing about me, I absolutely love commenting on smaller creators' channels, specifically because I'm a person that will actually watch a video all the way through if I actually vibe with you. Now, I do not like when people come to my channel telling me, let's work together, let's subscribe. The sub for sub, you don't do that, okay? It's against YouTube's regulations as well. If I naturally find your channel on my own and you're chill, or you're talking about something I'm interested in, usually I'm gonna go check you out, see what you're talking about. If I vibe with your vibe, if your videos are entertaining to me, or if I like the topics, I'm gonna probably watch a lot of your videos and comment on a lot of your videos. But I just don't like when people come out of nowhere saying that they watch or want to collab with me and I have never seen them before. They have never interacted on any of my comments before. And I know this because I make sure I pay attention to all of my comments. That is one thing about me, and I am small enough to pay attention, but I always try to make sure that I engage with every comment that I receive, and I try to keep a mindful note of people who interact with me, because it does help within building your community to keep notice of people who constantly interact with you. Now, when it comes to collabs, it does remind me of group projects. I have hated group projects all my life when it comes to elementary, middle school, high school, college. Oh my gosh. Having group projects with people as adults, even when it came to some work-related projects, it's just, some people don't do the work. Some people are not on the same vibe as you. How do I say this without sounding mean? A lot of people will want to collaborate because they think that I'm fun or funny. I have had some people reach out to me and send an email saying, hey, you're really funny. I would love to collaborate with you. How do I say this? To me, collaborations is a form of not just bonding with somebody, but it's also kind of like business. From my perspective, I look at it as, how am I benefiting from this collaboration? It's one thing if we're just having fun. You're somebody that I've interacted with a decent amount of times, or I actually feel comfortable with, and I'm like, we talk about similar stuff, or let's collaborate on this. Because that's one thing, but it's a completely different thing if you're funny, I want to do a collaboration with you. Because that does not help me.
I know that sometimes I am funny.
Sometimes I am funny, even though a lot of times I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass when I be talking about stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, so if you're saying this, are you saying this because you want to get close to me? or are you saying this because you actually want to work with me? Because those are two different things. And naturally, I have said a million times on this channel, I am an introvert. I don't trust people, if I'm being completely real with y'all. When it comes to people in the past that have did collabs with me, they have tried to use me in a specific way, whether it was trying to accrue some of my audience or tap into whatever topic I was talking about because they wanted to recreate or emulate it a little bit. They wanted to connect with me in a way where they could build a friendship that was not natural or stable. I've had some men even reach out to me to collab, and it was on some flirtatious energy, which I don't like stuff like that at all. I do have a husband. I am married.
YouTube is a weird place.
Social media is a weird place. And if you're not naturally in it, it's just a lot of things you really do need to consider when it comes to doing collabs, in my opinion. I've even had people reach out to me and say they wanted to collab, and then when I asked them, okay, what type of collab did they want to do, they would say,
I have no idea. I thought you could come up with it.
Why are you reaching out to me? First of all, you're reaching out to me. You should be the one that come up with the idea, because I don't know you. I don't know what I would talk about with you, especially if I've never seen you before. The way people move is just so interesting when it comes to YouTube a lot of times. Now, within doing collabs that I did not benefit from, either the niches did not match, the audience was not active enough in my opinion, or people tried to do it in a way where it was like we both were trying to tap into each other's audiences, but a lot of times people don't understand that when you try to tap into somebody else's audience, you do have to be very mindful and very careful, because the audience may not connect with you the same way in which they connect with the person who is actually on the channel. I would say your personality would have to shine very bright, or you would have to, I don't know, it would just have to be something that would connect with the audiences, and sometimes audiences do not connect across both channels enough where people would be interested. I remember there was this one YouTuber recently, I think she has over like 50k subscribers. She started charging people to do shout outs on her channel, which is crazy. But she was charging people to do shout outs on her channels, and a lot of people would end up getting subscribers from her doing the shout outs, but those people were not interactive enough on their content because they weren't really vibing with the content, or the content was similar to the other YouTubers. And that's something else you do have to be mindful of. You don't want somebody to be giving you a shout out or saying, oh, go follow this person, and they're not really into you for real. So now you got a whole bunch of subscribers coming over to your channel who are not really into you for real, and they won't watch your videos. I don't care what anyone says. Having a whole bunch of subscribers and they're not really interacting with your content can be counterproductive to your channel and make it difficult for your other videos to get pushed out. This reminds me of another situation where there was this one man who reached out to me who did YouTube videos. He occasionally would talk about relationship topics, right? Alongside of other things, like he was vlog channel, right? This person asked if I wanted to collaborate with him because they spoke about relationships, we spoke about dating, and they was like, you know, it could be good for us to collaborate with on. Instantly, I was like, you're a man. You're a man. And I can go and see that you have a mostly male audience. That is very counterproductive for me. And I feel like a lot of people do not understand this, because I had to break it down where I'm like, let's say I did get on your channel, and let's say we had a good video. Because you get decent views, some of your subscribers who are men will probably come and follow my channel, potentially if they resonate with me, if they find me amusing, funny, cute, whatever. Some of them will potentially want to come to my channel and subscribe to me. For me personally, this is very counterproductive. Not every subscriber is the same. And I say this because I want a mostly female audience. Any man who somehow found me, YouTube algorithm pushed me to your channel some type of way, or you found me on social media some type of way, I do appreciate you for being here, but I never wanted a male audience. I really did not. And I feel like if I ever got on a man's channel, that would be hella counterproductive, because that would mean it would potentially be more men that would try to subscribe to me and follow me, and I don't want that. I absolutely love the community that I do have. I will say shout out to all the women, men, they, them, whoever that are on my channel, because I do feel like I have created some sort of a safe space where women can be honest, people can be honest and vocal their opinions, and we can chit chat and talk about different stuff, and I love that. But if I'm being completely transparent with y'all, I have had some negative experiences where there were some men who found my channel that were very much aggressive, that were flirty, that did not respect boundaries. That is one of the main reasons why I will never work with somebody who I know for a fact has a male audience because of that. I don't ever want it to be a situation where people are coming over to my channel because I'll just say that I just don't really want to attract a male audience. For example, there are some videos that I know would have went viral for me, and I made sure to just nip those in the bud because I was like, even though I know these will go viral, it will more than likely attract a male audience, and that's not what I want. It would definitely be counterproductive to my overall growth. Because one thing you do have to do is you have to make sure you start paying attention to your analytics when it comes to your demographics and stuff. I feel like a lot of people don't really look at the demographics of their channel too much, but I definitely do. Being in YouTube Studio, going into the analytics from the desktop perspective, that's my gig. I will be in there looking at it weekly just to check on things, look at things to see how things are going. It'll help me to understand if something is helping me or hindering me. For some reason, I can't talk today. You do have to be mindful when you are doing collabs because you doing this little miniature side quest thinking, oh, I'm just going to do this collaboration with somebody. It can be where it hinders you or it attracts the wrong audience, and you really do have to think about things from the perspective of how can I benefit from it. Again, I know people like to be kind, like to talk with people, stuff like that, but at the same time, I love exchanging tips with other YouTubers, other people in social media. I love to give that freely. I love chit-chatting it up with you guys about different things. But you do have to be realistic, and you do have to look at things from the perspective of, is this going to help me, or is this just something to do, or will it be counterproductive? Will it attract the wrong people? And I feel like people don't really think about it. They just think, oh, I'm so excited someone's asked me for a collaboration, or, oh, I'm so excited I could potentially tap into somebody's audience. Sure, you can. You could. But also, you could tap into the wrong audience, especially if it's not an audience that's really resonating with you and they just give you a pity follow. That is the last thing you want, is to have a pity follow or somebody that's interested in you because of your looks, or somebody, if you planning on having a mostly female audience and then you hop on a man's podcast or hop on a man's YouTube channel to do a collab and then you get mostly men following you even though you knew for a fact you wanted more women to follow you. It's just something to think about that I feel like people just don't be considering. Then there's also this other factor, right? I have had some people reach out to collaborate with me and they were definitely copying me. And when I say copying me, I mean like verbatim. I can go to their channel and be like, wow, your thumbnails are similar to mine. It's one thing if you get inspired, okay? Not to toot my own horn, but I've had a couple of creators tell me I inspired them for certain things, which it always makes me feel very good. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I can give people ideas or inspire them to create something else, it always makes me feel good because I feel like I'm contributing something to this creator space. But at the same time, there are some people that were verbatim take concepts that I've made videos on and do it themselves repetitively. And I would just be looking like, and I'm like, it's all right, it's okay. But then when they had the audacity to ask me to work with them, I'm just, you good. You good. I don't really want to have anything to do with you because you're a stealer.
You're a stealer.
You basically are the type of influencer that I'm talking about when I posted that one influencer video about how some influencers are very much unoriginal. There is a piece of the pie for all of us. There's nothing wrong with getting inspired by people, but when you start taking people's ideas verbatim, for example, I talk about Reddit topics from time to time. If somebody else that I am subscribed to or that I follow as another content creator said they wanted to do the same thing too, that's completely fine. My only thing is is, I'ma just say, just don't do the same topics that I'm talking about, because then that's when I would be looking at you sideways, or go about it in a way that is comfortable for you. Because again, there are lots of YouTubers who do Reddit relationships, Reddit dating, Reddit stories, Reddit am I the asshole? There are so many people that do different Reddit topics. Some people talk about tech. Some people talk about gaming, unpopular opinions. Some people talk about just, it's a complete different smorgasbord of different things on Reddit that you can talk about. But I just find it so crazy when someone will watch a video of mine and do the exact same thing, or try to find the exact similar topic, try to recreate my whole video like it's theirs, because that's weird to me. And it's also weird because, again, I'm a small creator. I have a community and I have subscribers, but I do things my way. And I don't like when people try to emulate me, or rather, like, people try to do my personality, stuff like that. All of it is just weird, okay? But there are some people that are out there like that. Some people will ask for collabs and try to be you, try to be like you, and it's weird. My experience with collabs has been an interesting one. As far as ones I've actually did, a lot of times it just gave people were trying to tap into a niche that I was already in. Keep in mind, I am a variety channel, but because I talk about so many different topics, sometimes people want to talk about specific things. But I think for me, I always, well, now that I have been doing YouTube for a while, I look at their channel and I'm kind of just like, we don't talk about anything that connects with each other. It would be different if someone reached out to me and was like, first of all, if it was a woman and someone reached out to me and they talked about Disney or something, they were like, hey, let's do a Disney collab on such and such. And I would be like, sure, especially if I actually have some sort of camaraderie with you, because I'm like, that's different. I like Disney. But it's a completely different story if it's somebody who I can look at their channel, I could tell like, you're messy, or you be doing stuff or moving weird, because then I'm not gonna lie, you might get left on red. Because sometimes I'll be wanting to tell people nah, or I'll be like, yeah, I'm not looking for collabs right now. But sometimes people might look at it the wrong way if I were to do a collab. So I'm just like, it's just easier for me to potentially just leave you on red. Or you could just look at this video and be like, yeah, she don't do collabs like that. Because I really don't. I don't be doing collabs like that. Specifically because people don't be talking about nothing I want to talk about. Their audience not tapped in enough. I don't want to acquire the wrong audience, or I'm more concerned about, actually, I don't think my audience would pity follow anybody, if I'm being completely honest. You know, you never know with people. At the end of the day, if you are a YouTuber and you plan on doing collabs with somebody, you need to be very, very mindful of who you are collaborating with. Hopefully this person isn't problematic, they ain't starting no mess. Hopefully this person actually talks about similar topics that you talk about, and hopefully you are willing to give something back. Don't just let it be about the bonding. Some people will be trying to do stuff and tap in other people's audiences, and it's just like, but you got all your subscribers from sub for sub or something like that. But let me know y'all thoughts in the comments down below. Have y'all ever did collabs before? Have y'all really even thought about the demographics of doing collabs? Let me know y'all thoughts, because me personally, I'm not a big fan of doing collabs myself. They tend to be not beneficial for me, or counterproductive, or people don't really be talking about nothing that I really want to talk about where I want to collab on it with somebody with. But let me know in the comments down below. If you guys want, you can check out my content creator vlogs. Those will be linked down below in the description box as well as on the screen. But I'll be seeing you guys again soon. Stay blessed, stay positive. Bye.